Our next guest has written a book that has been praised as a miraculous gift that keeps on giving long after you put it down.
In it, she dives into the daunting task of emptying her childhood home and following her mother's death. Please welcome author and philosopher Marietta McCarty. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here and bringing us a nice copy of the book, which is mine, by the way.
All right.
Well, if it's a good interview, I'm going to leave it here.
Nice.
One.
Pressure.
I like your style.
Yeah.
All right. So this book, Leaving 1203, I assume that's the house number?
Yes.
Very cool. What's it about?
So I cover the 3 months of actual home emptying, from the day I first looked at the house and decided not to do anything, go to lunch, to the last day I shut the door and left the home. What happened in those 3 months of home emptying? So it tells a story of the biggest part for me was when the job and the responsibility, when you're already heartbroken, shifted into an opportunity and a privilege, that the old house had secrets waiting to tell me and lessons for me to relearn. And so home emptying was the best paying, most rewarding job of my life, as it turns out. Left me much sturdier, planted on the earth. I know more about the people who loved me first. My parents, my grandparents became full-bodied people, and I learned things that I didn't know before that endeared them to me even more. So awesome. it was the philosophical shift.
Yeah.
And speaking of the philosophical shift, readers of the book obviously really love the storytelling and the humor involved, but you do speak of a perceptive shift when doing something like emptying out the house. I touched on that a little bit.
Yes. Well, there's a saying that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, and I've always been struck by that. So I didn't know, I had no plan going into this, but as a philosopher, and my other books are on philosophy, making it accessible and practical in people's lives, I think the fact that I single-tasked, did one thing at a time, the way I was concentrating, it was almost a meditative 3 months for me. I didn't want to miss anything. I had to see or touch everything in the house. And so there was one particular moment when I came across a series of photographs of me at age 2 with that many teeth, and I'm being passed from one set of loving arms to another with this big kiss, and I thought, who's supposed to be emptying this house? This is my time to return all that love, and I'm going to do the best job I can and take care of this.
It's a story, and it's something that everybody can relate to. You lose someone, and it doesn't have to be. This was, in your case, it was your parents, right? Your
my
mom.
mother, yes.
It doesn't have to be your mom. It can be anybody that you're tasked with having to go do something with their things. Yes,
or it could be a job transfer and you're leaving a beloved home. Or it could be divorce, it could be any sort of thing. For me, it was my childhood home, and I think that has a particular poignancy to it. But yes, it's any time you leave a home for the last time. I had a university professor tell me that when he left his office after teaching chemistry for 40 years at UVA, he said, I saw the growth in my students for 40 years, I saw the change in chemistry for 40 years, and I had to leave that door open. I couldn't close it when I left for the last time, because he loved that space and what it meant to him.
Yeah, there's just something sentimental about a space that you've spent so much time in. It's almost like the walls echo all of the memories, even when it's completely empty.
The walls, the floors, I mean, they were just saying, and I felt that everyone with me who had crossed those 10 steps from the back gate to the back stoop, they were in there with me, you know, during this. And the more the house emptied, the more room for my childhood friends to come in and be a part of things.
So this is awesome.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the book tour. You're here in Jacksonville. Tell us about what the details of that.
Where are you going to be? Where can people find you?
Well, this is my highlight, of course, being here with you.
Yes.
But I'm going to be at the BookMark tonight at 7.
Excellent.
And tomorrow night at the Beaches Museum, I'll be there at 6.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yes.
People
all right.
can buy a copy and get it signed, right?
So how do we do on the interview? We keeping this book?
You're keeping the book.
I'm keeping the, we did it.
Because you're going to find out what I did with everything in the house.
Okay. It's one more reason to check the book out.
Very cool.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Anyone interested in watching this segment again, you will be able to do so when we post it to our website, firstcoastliving.net.